Hi guys, welcome to another of my videos, which is a very wet morning. Not that I mind, it makes a change. I like all different weathers, as you know. After all, it would be so boring a world if we got the same weather every single day of life. Now, I have, as you have seen in previous video, bought a new book called Old Tales of the Gamekeepers, and it's about time I gave you a story or a chapter from it, so I thought this would be a fitting time to give you one of those. And this book has been written by Brian P. Martin, so I'll be recalling what he said in the book at times during the next few weeks, seasons. But yeah, so here's what he attributes to being a keeper, a gamekeeper. We'll go through this and it gives you the insight of what a gamekeeper is all about. Enjoy! The gamekeeper has no use for the 8 Hours Act. His work is of a very arduous nature. Still, it is full of compensations and pleasures to a real lover of sport and companionship of wild nature. If he is an intelligent man and desirous of reading that book, it is open to him daily. He knows and notes the heralds of each season as it comes through the agency of the different things he sees and hears daily in his travels. He learns and knows the meaning of many things of which the town dweller or sedentary worker has no conception. Going his rounds, he sees where a fox has made his spring upon a rabbit, or taken a sitting pheasant or a partridge from her nest. A circle of feathers from a bird will tell him that a sparrow hawk has made to kill or poachers have been netting, and he will be able to decide which has been the culprit. A rabbit's skin cleanly taken off of the carcass consumed, a rabbit's nest with a peduncular hole down to it, or a dwarf's nest cleaned out the same way, shows that the badger has been at work. A dead rabbit with a small hole in its neck marks the presence of a stoat. A young pheasant without its head tells him that he has an especially vicious owl in his coverts, which, if not captured, will deplete his stock more than one can be endured. Young pheasants about the coops may be found dead and only the brain gone, and he knows that a jackdaw has paid him a visit. The warning notes of the smaller birds indicate to him the presence of a foe, and the particular note will tell him if it is furred or feathered enemy they have detected. He knows that when the rabbits appear from the burrows to feed much earlier than usual, they are taking advantage of the weather to prepare for the enforced want of food, owing to stormy weather approaching, and that the same weather wisdom is possessed by rooks and other birds and animals. During his lonely vigils at night, sitting in the lee of a hedge or in a wood, he hears the dog fox calling to his mate, and her answering a shriek, the whistle of the otter and others of the midnight wanderers, and can distinguish them all. The song of the nightingale in the south and the hedge sparrow in the north is sweet music, and on the other hand, probably the most eerie of all sounds he hears will be a fight between two hedgehogs, which can most nearly be compared to the dying moans of a little child. The first and each succeeding fall of snow is eagerly looked for by the keeper, as it leaves the telltale footprints of a ground vermin, and he is able to see what there is upon his meat. Taking his gun and 2 of the 3 traps in his game bag, he will search for signs of them, and when found, follow till he gets where they are, probably in a rabbit burrow, an old covered in drain, or a stack bottom. Should it be a stoat or a weasel, he will imitate the drying shrieks of a rabbit, which if the animal has not had a kill just previously, will draw the culprit to the sound and its own death. If this is not successful, a trap can be set, which is sure to do its work, particularly if the table has been smeared with a few drops of blood. It is always advisable to take a ferret also, for if a stoat or a weasel has been disturbed, they may not look out for their harbour and it may be difficult to trap. But if the ferret is turned down after them, they will bolt at once. This can also be done with a fox, providing he has not been run by hounds and everything's kept quiet. A colony of rats may be located which had escaped notice before, and the burrows most favoured by the rabbits noted. Head and single-hand keepers generally have game licenses taken out by their employers to enable them to replenish the larder when required. And when that has been done, a conscientious man will always tramp his boundary or some other place his employer does not care to walk over, thus leaving the better and easier part of the shoot for his employer and his party. It is quite in order that the keeper should have his license, and for the good of the preserved, in that he can pick up off surplus cocked partridges or old cocked pheasants that are leading his young hand-reared birds away from home in October. To the moorland keeper, it is especially useful as he is able to bag a few old cock grouse that dominate more ground than they should by buying up the moor before daylight and using a clay pipe and imitating the call of the female grouse. And this is a very killing method on a sharp, frosty morning. In some districts in pre-war days, it was the custom of the owner of the shoot to give a party of adjoining keepers a day amongst the cock pheasants at the end of the season, and this was eagerly looked forward to by those invited. A full staff of beaters was engaged, hot lunch set out for all, and a dinner at night for the keepers, to be followed by a smoking concert and a brace of pheasants each to take home, marked as an enjoyable day. There was almost sure to be some of the gentlemen who shot the estate following to see the shooting and the chaff the unfortunate keeper who missed a sitter, though in general the shooting was quite up to their average. The moorland keeper obtains much more shooting than his lowland brother, and particularly if he is good at driven birds, and when game is plentiful, he is pretty constantly engaged towards the end of the season, supplying his master, who may live a considerable distance away. Also, when inclement weather may be expected and fireside sportsmen shun the ordeal, he has many an invitation to assist, and very probably his contribution to the bag will be the largest. As time rolls on and he feels unfit for his duties, and rheumatism, the result of the many soakings he has had, assails him. He may, if he has been a steady, thrifty man, held good situations and had good luck, rent a small farm or a hotel, or be retained upon the estate in light employment as a trusty servant. And if he has been serving one of the old country families or local squires, will almost certainly receive a pension, which, if he has a little of his own, may enable him to end his days upon the place and amongst the game he has protected so long and the scenes of his former achievements. He will always be pleased to give his matured advice to those who have taken up his duties, and this will be well worthy of acceptance. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little excerpt from the Tales of Old Gamekeepers, and I'll give you another one another day. This was just an introductory of what a gamekeeper's job is, just to get you into the feel of it. So, yeah, looking forward to the next story of Old Gamekeepers. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.